Can we all agree that consumers like you and me want durable phones? If a manufacturer produces phones that last a really long time, wouldn't there come a point where the market becomes saturated with these durable phones? Now, Honor is kind of doing what Nokia has done in the past, which is to produce super durable phones. And now with the Honor X7c, it's also very affordable. So if you're like me and you want your phones to last a really long time, you want durable devices, then this is what we're going to be talking about in this video. Historically speaking, it seems that the Honor X7 series is the big battery lineup coming from Honor. The X7A and X7B had really good looking designs, but the chipset has always been in the budget, lower mid-range segment. This time around, it comes with IP64 dust and water resistance. The forest green variant that I have with me immediately reminded me of the Honor X8 series, but at the same time, I kind of miss the curvier sides of the X7B. You know, the curves actually make it more comfortable to hold for longer periods of time. Of course, you can easily fix that by putting on a jelly case. I find the camera island a little weird. You have this printed circle that resembles a camera's aperture, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just design. It comes with dual stereo speakers. And the other thing that I like to point out is that it actually comes with tempered glass pre-installed out of the box. So while we're not getting a shatter-resistant display unlike the X9 series, Honor is actually paying attention and making sure that this phone is as durable as possible. Now, speaking of costs, it runs on the Snapdragon 685 chipset, which is kind of like the budget platform of the year for 2024. Very affordable phones, but don't expect mind-blowing performance. To its credit, it runs Android 14 and Magic OS 8 out of the box, so it's still good if you're coming from an older Android version that's no longer being updated by the manufacturer. And from what we know, Honor has committed 2 major OS upgrades and 3 years of security patches for most of its budget devices. Now, for gaming, this phone performs well with casual games, but for the slightly more demanding games like Genshin Impact or Car X Street, you're gonna have to fine-tune the graphics setting and bring it all the way down. On the other hand, we had no problems playing Mobile Legends on the high setting. I believe it was high frame rate and ultra graphics. I'm gonna have to review our gaming test. It does throttle a fair amount. The performance went down by around 40% in 10 minutes. So that is something that you're gonna have to look out for in your long-running gaming sessions. But while we're on the topic of long-running sessions, our benchmarks were mind-blowing. We were able to squeeze around 21 hours of screen time on this phone. Now, that is the dream, and I sincerely hope that we would eventually come to a point where smartphones have enough battery capacity or power efficiency so that you won't have to charge for an entire week. So on that regard, for being the big battery product line from Honor, the X7c really does deliver. Now, when it comes to cameras, the X7A had a triple camera setup. Then on the X7B, they got rid of the macro camera, but bumped up the spec of the main sensor to 108 megapixels. But now on the X7C, they also got rid of the ultra-wide camera and we're left with just one main camera, 108 megapixel main camera and a depth sensor. Now, if I recall correctly, the Honor X7B had a Samsung ISO cell HM6 sensor for its main camera, Now for the X7c, we had to dig around, and it seems that it uses a Sony IMX586 sensor. I can't really say that it produces better looking photos or videos, but I do want to point out that there is some slight delay in between the time that you hit the shutter button and the time that the sensor actually captures the image. So when I was taking some action photography, I had to anticipate the shot and hit the shutter button in advance, but it did produce some very pleasing and dramatic photos such as this. So why don't you guys look at these samples and let us know what you think in the comments. So let me just show you the assembly at the bottom. This is the base, and this is where the IC and the electronics are concentrated. Taking all of this into consideration, it seems that with the X7c, you no longer have just a big battery capacity phone. You also have an extremely durable phone. This not only brings you peace of mind, but it also opens up creative possibilities. Imagine taking this with you to the beach, to the pool, outdoors hiking, going to a lake somewhere, and then not having to worry about breaking the phone, just diving in, capturing some underwater shots. Then, of course, there are the practical everyday use cases, just like what we did in our splash test. You can now watch your favorite shows while taking a shower. You no longer have to worry about dropping it while you're doing the dishes or washing your clothes. And if you happen to live in a tropical country like the Philippines, where the monsoon season typically means heavy downpours, crazy typhoons, then water damage is one less thing to worry about. So with this long-lasting, durable, and affordable smartphone, I think we owe a lot to brands like HONOR for making durability even more accessible. There was a time when dust and water resistance could only be found in phones priced from 20,000 pesos and above. There was this Finnish manufacturer called Nokia who produced near indestructible devices, and they were really good at it. Nokia built their brand around durability and reliability, and hopefully things go well for HONOR because, guys, the world could use more durable phones right now. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Paalam!
Habang naliligo.